Hi, everyone, and welcome to the 60-minute Power Flow. I'm so happy that you're here. This is day 5 of our yoga challenge. This is my most advanced class that I teach. So make sure you're being really gentle and easy and kind with your body, especially if this is one of your first power classes that you've ever taken. What you're going to need is a towel if you're in a hot space, and if you want to put on your heater, you want to sweat a little bit. I encourage that. I love hot yoga. It really opens up the body, clears us of lots of toxins and such. If you have your blocks, you can go ahead and grab them, bring them close by. You're going to be doing a similar flow like we did on day 1, but we're going to be taking it up a notch. So really listening to your body, being kind and gentle, taking it super slow if you need to, finding rest whenever you need to. We're just going to start in our meditation seat. So go ahead and find a block. Close your eyes and just deepen your breath here. Relaxing your face and your forehead. And just coming into this sacred space. The space that we have been kind of practicing being in these last 4 days. Just taking a few breaths here. Coming into this space before we find our flow and allowing these words to wash over you. So each day we've been kind of focusing on a word. Here. 1 second. There we go. All right, sorry. So each day we've been focusing on a word. So allow these words to wash over you as you come into your meditation seat. Psalm 116:1 says, I am passionately in love with God because he listens to me. He hears my prayers and answers them. In the same Psalm 116:5, he says, he was so kind, so gracious to me because of his passion toward me. He made everything right and restored me. So as we focus in this time together, in this power flow, the word that kind of comes to me in this space is passion. Because of his passion toward me, he made everything right and he restored me. So just taking a few breaths here, maybe even bringing your hands on your heart before we begin. Just calming the mind and the body. And whenever you're ready, gently make your way to your child's pose. Take your knees out wide, bring your toes to touch, then walk your palms all the way up towards the top of your mat. Simply bring your head down and just take a few breaths here, in and out. Spreading your fingers. Pressing your palms into the mat and just allowing yourself to be here. So coming back to this word of passion, what does that look like for you, especially in the sacred space that we've been creating recently? When I think of power yoga, I think of fire and hot and passion. So using the space to just breathe through those tight spaces, breathe through those difficult spaces, and know that you can always come to your child's pose whenever you need rest today, especially in this most advanced class. So just find a few breaths here before we begin. Whenever you're ready, gently make your way to your downward facing dog. Reach your hips up high. Hover your heels over the mat. Spread your fingers. And just find some gentle movement. So maybe pedaling out your knees, wagging your tail back and forth, kind of finding that organic movement that feels good here. Notice how you're showing up today. Using this passion, this love for God to just be in this sacred space. Finding one more big breath here. And then exhale, sigh it out. Gently walk your gaze towards the top of your mat and meet your feet all the way up there. Finding your forward fold, take your feet about hip width. Lift and spread your toes. Just breathing into your lower back. Soften your face and your forehead. Maybe finding a bind or rocking side to side, just preparing yourself for this power flow, this passionate flow. And then ground down into your feet, let go of your bind and root to rise. Reach your palms up high, spread your fingers, inhaling. And then exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Closing your eyes. Just take a few deep breaths here. Maybe finding your own favorite scripture here, maybe one that you've heard recently in class, or maybe just being here in this space, loving God, all your heart and your mind and your passion. Finding one more inhale. And then exhale, reach your palms back up towards the sky. And then find your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And then exhale, press your palms into the mat. Step your right foot and then your left, coming all the way down onto your belly. Inhale, upward facing dog. And then exhale, moving through your table, downward facing dog. So finding about 2 more sun salutation A's, going at your own pace, and finding your own modifications too. So you don't always have to follow me. I'm going to show you the more, I'm going to go from a more beginner and then to advanced. So kind of find whatever flow works best for you here, even if you want to take a pause and watch. So the beginner level of sun salutation A is to walk your feet all the way up towards the top of your mat. Big breath in, halfway lift, hold. Ground down into your feet, root to rise, reaching your palms high. Bring your hands to prayer center, fold. Halfway lift. Press your palms into the mat. Step your right foot and then your left. Come all the way down onto your belly. Inhale, upward facing dog. Listening to your low back, not going super high here. Roll your shoulders down your back. Moving through your table, downward facing dog. So lovely. So just finding this flow. Taking a few breaths here in your downward facing dog. Listening to your body. If you want to take it up a notch, since this is the most advanced class of this week, bring both of your feet together. Bend your knees, reach your gaze in between your hands, and maybe try hopping all the way up towards the top of your mat. Halfway lift, fold. Ground down into your feet, lift and spread your toes. Reach it back up, spread your fingers. Hands to prayer center, fold. Bring your palms down into the mat, bring both of your feet together, bend your knees, and see if you can gently just kick it back into your plank pose. Hovering over your mat, bending your elbows, inhale, upward facing dog. Roll your shoulders away, flip your toes, downward facing dog. So lovely. So you can do it any variation of that you would like to. Breathing here. Calming the mind and the body. Finding that passion, that love for God in this sacred space. Soften your face and your forehead. Bring your gaze in between your hands and walk all the way up. Bring both of your feet together, halfway lift. Full. You're doing awesome. Finding your chair, pull the pit of your belly in, reach your palms up high. Bring your biceps by your ears, spread your fingers. Lift and spread your toes, maybe sinking just a little bit lower. Maybe sinking just a little bit lower here. Checking out your toes. So make sure you can still see your toes here. Challenging yourself. You're doing great. Maybe sinking just a little bit lower. Bring your hands to heart center, fold. Halfway lift. Press your palms into the mat. Maybe practice kicking it back. Inhale, upward facing dog. Big breath out, downward facing dog. Bring both of your feet together. Raise your right leg high. Square your hips towards the mat. Flex your right foot. Spread your fingers. You can choose to stay right here. Bring your knee to your nose. And then exhale, kick it back. Really engaging your core. Bring your knee to your nose. Exhale, kick it back. Finding one more, knee to your nose. Bringing it in. Pressing into your palms. Kick it back. Step it through to warrior one. Finding your own flow here. So even if you're pausing in one spot, that's okay. Maybe just watching. Wherever you are, breathe. Point your knee towards your pinky toe. Spread your toes on your right foot. Bring your hands to heart center, warrior two. Looking out over your right hand. Choosing to stay right here, simply reach your palms up, just like we did earlier this week. Straighten your right knee, big breath in. And then exhale, warrior two. Finding two more, inhale, reaching up, looking up. Exhale, warrior two. Finding one more, inhale. And then exhale. So lovely. Flip your right palm, coming into your peaceful warrior. Deepen the bend in your right knee. One more big breath here. And then exhale, simply windmill your palms all the way down. Step your right foot back. Inhale, upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Finding child's pose if you need it. Just take a few deep, big breaths here. Coming into this sacred space. Finding that passion. Loving God passionately. Psalm 31:23 reminds us, listen to me, all you godly ones. Love the Lord with passion. The Lord protects and preserves all those who are loyal to him. But he pays back in full all those who reject him in their pride. So love the Lord with all your passion. What does that look like for you personally? Finding one more big breath in your downward facing dog. And then gently make your way over to the other side, reaching your left leg high. Flex your left foot. You can choose to keep it right there. Bring your knee to your nose. Kick it back. Bringing some passion in this pose. Bring your knee to your nose. Exhale, kick it back. Finding one more, knee to your nose. Taking a pause. Exhale, kick it back. Step your left foot in between your hands, finding that same flow on the other side. Warrior one. Hands to prayer center, warrior two. Stack your shoulders over your hips. Flip your left palm, peaceful warrior. Oh, no, I forgot, sorry. Before you do that, find your little flow here. So reach your palms high towards the sky. Lift and spread your toes, inhale. Exhale, warrior two. Finding 2 more. Inhale, reaching up, looking up. Lift and spread your toes. Warrior 2. 1 more. Inhale. Exhale. So lovely. Now flip your left palm, peaceful warrior. Taking that pause. Breathing into your side body. Bring your hands all the way next to your left foot. Step your left foot back. Inhale, upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Taking a big breath in. Then exhale, side out. Finding child's pose whenever you need it. Or simply walk your palms all the way back towards the back of your mat. So now finding a forward fold at the back of your mat, take your feet a little bit wider, about hip width. Bend your knees and breathe into your low back. Ground down into your feet and then simply root to rise, reaching your palms high. And as you reach your palms up, bring your right arm underneath your left, coming into eagle. So we're coming into eagle at the back of our mat here. So bringing your right arm underneath your left arm, press your palms into one another, and then sit into your chair, wrapping your right leg over your left leg. You can choose to hold onto your shoulders if that's a little bit too much, or if you need some support, maybe holding onto a wall or a chair while you balance on that left foot. Squeezing it in tight here, big breath in. And then exhale, release. Finding yourself on the other side. Maybe starting with the arms first if that helps, then come into your chair and wrap your left leg over your right leg. So left's under, left arm is under, left leg is over. Squeezing in tight here, big breath in. And then exhale, release. Finding your balance. Finding 1 more on either side. Wrap your right leg over your left. Right arm underneath your left arm. So you can align your elbows with your shoulders. Bend your knees a little bit deeper. Inhale. Exhale, let it go. Opening up. And then finding yourself on the other side. Last little eagle on this side. Just finding your balance. Sinking a little bit lower. And then let it go. So beautiful. And simply bring your right knee in towards your chest, balancing on your left foot. Roll your shoulders down your back. Really bringing some passion here. Some fire, some heat. And then simply extend your right leg out long. So you can simply hold that right leg. See if you can flex your right foot. Or you can simply let go. Bring your palms by your side, just hovering that right leg. Big breath in. And then exhale, simply step right in front of you. And as you do, swing that left knee in towards your chest. So you're really practicing balance here, practicing fire, passion. Coming into this sacred space. So even if it feels uncomfortable, you're getting a little sweaty, just see if you can breathe through that. Extend your left leg out long, maybe holding it. Flex your left foot, maybe letting it go. Maybe you're shaking a little, big breath in. And then exhale, big step all the way up towards the top of your mat. So just taking a pause. Just practicing a little bit more balance. So grab your blocks if you have them close by. Coming into your airplane pose. So if you want to bring your right knee back in towards your chest, you can kind of give it a little squeeze. And then simply kick it back into your airplane. Really setting yourself up. Hips are square towards the mat. Maybe bring your palms down onto your blocks. Maybe see if you can kick that heel up a little bit higher. Bring your palms by your side if you want a little bit more here. Your left foot's on 12 o'clock. And you're breathing here, so you're not holding your breath. Finding passion. Finding your breath. Coming into this sacred space. Give yourself a little challenge here. Bring your left hand down onto the block or to the floor, coming into your half moon. So if you want more stability, you're gonna look down either in between your blocks or at the top of your mat. If you want to practice a little bit balance, see if you can reach that right leg or that right arm a little higher. Maybe bring your gaze up there too. Big breath in. Side out. One more, fullest expression. And then find your forward fold. So beautiful. Maybe shake your head yes and no. Just breathing here and softening. Turn down into your feet. Root to rise. Reaching your palms back up towards the sky. Big breath in. Bring your hands to heart center. Bring your left knee back in towards your chest. Give it a little squeeze. See what it feels like to balance on your right foot. Maybe noticing the difference between your right and your left side. And then simply kick that left leg back behind you, coming into your airplane pose. Spread your fingers. Kick that heel up a little bit higher. If you need to grab your blocks to elevate the floor, you may do so. Coming into that airplane pose. Bending your right knee just a little. Big breath in. Let it go. Finding half moon. Bring your right hand to a block. Reach your left hand high towards the sky, or maybe bring it to your hip. Maybe looking down if you're newer to this pose, or maybe taking it a little bit further, going to your edge here, really showing up. Reach your left hand high, flex your left foot, and open up. Hips are square towards the side wall. Big breath in. Let it go. One more. Exhale, forward fold. You're doing great. Letting it all go here. Big breath in. Side out. Ground down into your feet and root to rise. Reach your palms up high. Reach your palms, spread your fingers, and sit into your chair. So really challenge yourself here. Pull the pit of your belly in, especially if you've been practicing yoga for a while. See if you can sit just a little bit lower. Really turning up the heat, turning on the passion. Maybe closing your eyes or staring at one spot in front of you that's not moving, sinking just a little bit deeper. You got this. One more breath in. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift. Press your palms into the mat. Maybe step it back. Inhale, upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Bring both of your feet together. Raise your right leg high. Finding that same flow, but adding a little bit more. Bring your knee to your nose. Exhale, kick it back. Two more. Bring your knee to your nose. Kick it back. Engaging your core. Knee to your nose. Taking a pause. Kick it back. Right foot in between your hands. Warrior one. You know where we're going. Finding that same flow. Warrior two. Finding that little flow here. Reach your palms up. Straighten your right knee. Lift and spread your toes. Warrior two. Two more. Inhale. Let it go. Warrior two. One more. Inhaling. And then exhale. Warrior two. Flip your right palm. Peaceful warrior. Deepen the bend in your right knee. Simply straighten your right knee, finding your triangle pose. Bump your left foot up just a tad. Stack your shoulders over your hips so you're not dumping into that right shin. You can grab a block if you like. Spread your fingers out wide, just like in Warrior Two. And then simply hinge right over your right leg, reaching your left hand high. Spread your fingers, really open up here. fullest expression. Coming into this sacred space, passionately loving God, just being here with Him. Staying right here, turning it up just a little bit more. Reach your left hand towards the front of your mat. Reach your right hand towards the front of the mat as though you're holding this beach ball. Lift and spread your fingers, spread your toes, big breath in. And then exhale, come all the way up. And then bring your hands to prayer center, just setting up for your pyramid pose. So bump that left foot up just a little bit closer. I like to bring my hands onto my hips because my hips tend to have a mind of their own. So maybe take your feet about hip width. And then simply just hinge right over that right leg, bending your right knee. You can bring your blocks on over if you want to bring the floor a little bit closer here. You can tent your fingertips if you don't have blocks, or you can hold onto your elbows behind you if you want to bind. Reach your left lung to your right knee. Breathe. Soften. Just let go here. One more inhale. Exhale, side out. Staying right here if you like for just a little bit longer. Or bring your block to the center of your mat, or just press your palm into the mat and come into a pyramid twist here. So bring your right hand to your low back, making sure your hips are still square. If they're still square, then you can reach your right hand high towards the sky, really feeling it into that right thigh. Just coming into this little twist here. You can keep your hand on your low back if you'd like. One more inhale. And then exhale, let it go. So beautiful. Bring your palms down. Step your left foot back, step your right. Inhale, upward facing dog. Side out, downward facing dog. So taking child's pose if you need it. Maybe taking a drink of water if you need it. And just breathing here. Finding that big, expansive breath in and out. Taking that pause. And then whenever you're ready, make your way over to the other side. So you know where we're going now. Bring both of your feet together. Raise your left leg high. Staying here or finding that little flow. Bring your knee towards your nose. Kick it back. Two more. Knee to your nose. Engaging your core. Exhale, kick it back. Finding one more here. Bring your knee to your nose. Taking that pause. Kick it back. Step your left foot in between your hands. Warrior one. Really listening to your body, taking a break whenever you need it. Square your hips towards the front of the mat. Hands to prayer center. Warrior two. Now your hips are to the side wall here. Finding that little flow. Reach your palms up, straighten your left knee. Big breath in. Exhale, let it go. Two more. Inhale. Exhale, warrior two. One more here. Biggest breath yet. Big breath in. Exhale, warrior two. Flip your left palm. Coming into your peaceful warrior. Finding that breath. Deepen the bend in your left knee. And then simply straighten, setting it up for your triangle. Bump your right foot up just a tad. Maybe walk it a step or two. Make sure your left foot's on 12 o'clock. You can bring a block on the inside of your shin if you'd like. Bring your palms out in front of you, just like warrior two arms. And then simply hinge right over that left leg. Reach your right hand high. So maybe taking it easy here and just leaving that left hand high. Or maybe if you want to take it up a notch, adding a little bit more fire, a little bit more passion, bring your right bicep to your right ear. Breathing into that side body. Now bring your left bicep to your left ear as though you're holding that beach ball. Lift and spread your toes. Engage your core here. Inhale. Exhale. One more inhale. Exhale, slowly come up. So lovely. Bring your hands to heart center. Just take a pause. Make sure you're breathing, especially if you were holding your breath. And make your way to your hat or to your pyramid pose. So step that left foot out just a tad. Bump your right foot over. So your left foot's on 12 o'clock. Your right foot's kind of pointed towards a diagonal there. Maybe bring your hands onto your hips if it helps, and then hinge over your left leg. Grab your blocks if you need them. Bring your right lung now to your left knee. Maybe taking that bind if you'd like. Maybe bring your hands on your blocks. Wherever you are, be there fully. Deepen your breath. One more inhale. Exhale, let it go. Bring your palms on either side of your left leg. Step your right foot back. Step your left. Inhale, upward facing dog. Side out, downward facing dog. Letting it all go. Taking a few breaths here. Breathing in and out. Repeating Psalm 31:23 once more. Listen to me, all you godly ones. Love the Lord with passion. The Lord protects and preserves all those who are loyal to him, but he pays back in full all those who reject him in their pride. Just loving the Lord with all your passion. Taking a few more breaths here. And then gently coming into your plank pose, stack your shoulders over your wrists, maybe coming onto your knees, or maybe coming up onto your tippy toes, and come all the way down onto your mat for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Taking that pause, bring your palms by your sides. Just feeling the weight of the mat holding you here. Finding 2 locust poses. So just listening to your low back there. Bring your palms by your sides, just like an airplane. Reach your heart towards the top of your mat. Lift your toes, spread your fingers. Big breath in. Exhale. One more inhale, pressing your hips into the mat. And then exhale, simply release. Windshield wiping your feet back and forth. Choosing to find another locust, maybe with a bind, interlacing your palms behind you, really opening up your shoulders. See if you can kind of bring your toes to touch. Inhaling. Exhale. One more inhale. And then exhale, slowly release. Maybe windshield wiping your feet back and forth. And then gently come into your upward facing dog. So maybe you're bringing your palms by your sides, right by either side of your chest. Bring your elbows together. Maybe reach the crown of your head a little bit higher. So kind of listening to wherever you your flexibility allows. Maybe you're staying right here, or maybe you're pressing into your palms, coming up a little bit higher here. Glue your elbows towards your sides. You can either press your hips or you're pressing your the tops of your thighs into the mat, or maybe even come up onto the tops of your feet. Bending your elbows just a tad, upward facing dog. Big breath in. Moving through your table, or peel your toes back into downward facing dog. So lovely. Walk your feet towards your hands and make your way to your seat. Extending your legs out long. Moving that excess stuff out of the way and just finding a quick little forward fold here. So just hinging over your hips once more, just breathing into your lower back. Roll your shoulders down your back. Just breathe here. Softening your face and your forehead. One more breath in. Exhale, side out. And then gently making your way onto your back. You can grab a block if you want to do restore. We're going to do 3 bridge or wheels. So I'm going to show you the easiest version to the hardest. So listening, or the beginner to the advanced. So kind of listening to your body, what's working for you, where do you want to stay, and knowing that you don't have to do every pose. So if you want to just rest, you can bring the block on either setting. So whatever setting kind of works well for you. I like the middle setting myself. So you can choose to kind of find that setting on the block, bring it right under on your low back there, right underneath your low back. Bring your fingertips towards your heels, your feet about hip width. And maybe you're just hanging out here. If you're choosing to not use a block or you don't have one, or you want to just come into regular bridge, you can come on up, reaching your hips up high. Press your palms into the mat. Reaching your hips a little bit higher, inhale. And then exhale, slowly come down. Coming into bridge, maybe a little bit, adding a little bit more. Reach your hips back up, maybe finding a bind. Interlace your palms underneath you. Bring your shoulder blades underneath you. Reach your hips a little bit higher here, inhaling. Exhale. One more inhale. Exhale, let it go. Bring your low back down onto the mat. Choosing to come into any of those variations that were shown already, or finding bridge pose. Bring your fingertips to face your shoulders. Bring your elbows a little bit closer together. Finding that passion in this pose. Firing up the legs, lift and spread your toes. Maybe coming onto your forehead or reaching all the way up into full bridge. Really expanding the chest. Reaching your hips up high. Big breath in. Exhale, let it go. 2 more big breaths in. Sigh it out. 1 more inhale. Exhale. So lovely. Coming all the way down. Bring the palms of your feet together. Take your knees out wide. Bring one hand to your heart and one hand to your belly. Moving all the way into your breathing. Just entering into this sacred, passionate place with God. Loving Him with all your passion. You can choose to stay here as long as you would like to. Making sure you're really breathing deep and full. Making each breath deeper and deeper. You want to take it up a notch or 2. Gently bring your knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a squeeze. Gently bring your palms right behind your head, setting up for bicycle. So we're just going to do a few abs here. See if you can stack your knees over your hips, flex your feet. We're going to do about, let's say 30. So just kind of move back and forth. So see if you can really, as though a wall, so a hand or wall is right here, kind of stacking those knees right over your hips. So for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 20 more. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Keep flex your feet. 4, 3, 2, 1. 10 more. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Bring your hands into your chest here. Give yourself a squeeze. And then gently rock and roll. Bring your palms underneath your thighs and rock and roll. So just kind of have a little fun here, massaging your whole back. Just rock and roll. Finding a few more. You've taken my power class before, you know we're going into your boat pose. Maybe bring your palms underneath your legs. Maybe leave them there. Flex your feet. Roll your shoulders down your back. Maybe extend your palms out long. Spread your fingers. Maybe straighten your knees. You got this. Big breath in. Coming into your canoe. Back to boat. 2 more to canoe. To boat. To canoe. Back to boat. To canoe. And paddle for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Really breathing, especially if you're holding your breath. Really feeling that fire, that passion. Just resting here. But not resting too long, because we're going to move into half pigeon. So if you want to stay on your back for figure 4, bringing that ankle towards your left knee, you're more than welcome to do so. If you want to find your half pigeon through your flow into your downward facing dog, you can do that as well. Or like myself, you can kind of just flop right into your half pigeon. Flex your right foot. Check out that back foot. Make sure your left foot is pointing straight back. Either take your elbows out long or wide. And find about 4 or 5 big breaths here. Soften your face. Soften your jaw. Just come back into this sacred space. Gently finding yourself, just swinging that back leg in front of you, coming into your single seated leg extension. Bring the palm of your right foot to your inner thigh, and then simply just hinge right over that left leg, maintaining your straight spine. Just quieting the mind and the body. Coming into this sacred space with God. What does that look like for you personally? What does it look like for you personally to love God, all your passion? Staying here if you would like to, or coming into a twist. Bring the palm of your right foot onto the mat there. Bring that left arm and bring it over your right leg. Swirl that right arm back behind you, just coming into a little twist here. Flex your left foot. Inhale, lengthen. Then exhale, twist, looking over that right shoulder. One more here. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. And then gently counteracting that pose. Bring the both of your palms next to your left thigh. Press your right palm of your foot into the mat. Just kind of counteract that twist there. Gently come back to center. And then make your way onto your half pigeon on the left side. So if you want to come onto your back and find your figure four, or you just want to swing that back leg back behind you. So the left is in front, the right's behind, making sure that right foot is pointed straight back. Flex your left foot and then just hinge right over that left leg. Finding about 7 big breaths here on your own. Slowly begin to rise. Bring that right leg out in front of you, coming into that single seated leg extension on the other side. Hinging over your right leg. Maintaining that straight spine. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, deepen. Hinging over maybe just a little bit deeper. Finding one more big breath here. Flexing your right foot, choosing to stay right here in your seated single leg extension, or bring that left knee in towards your chest. Left palm of your foot onto the mat, finding that twist on the other side. Wrap your right leg over your left, and then extend that left arm back behind you. Flex your left foot. Maybe looking over that left shoulder. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. One more big breath here. Exhale, twist. And then bring your palms right next to that right thigh. Press your palms into the floor of the mat. Just kind of using that stretch to kind of counteract that twist. And then gently come back to center. Bring the palms of your feet onto the mat. Make your way all the way onto your back. Bring your knees in towards your chest and maybe simply just rock side to side, giving yourself a little back massage. Extend your legs high towards the sky, finding your waterfall. So you can simply choose to stay right here in your waterfall, especially if you're newer to yoga, or if you want to try shoulder stand. So kind of come up, reaching your legs up high, as though you're standing on that ceiling. Flex your feet. Make sure you don't look side to side here. Bring your elbows a little bit closer together. So you're really stacking your ankles over your knees over your hips, and your hips over your shoulders if you can. Flex your feet. Deepen your breath. Staying right here, maybe coming into that plow pose, feeling that deep stretch in your neck, in your shoulders. See if you can really lessen the tension in your jaw. Your flexibility allows, maybe bring your knees a little bit closer to your ears, coming into man's pose. Slowly, super, super slow, coming back into your waterfall. Extending your legs up high. Face your palms towards the sky and just take a few breaths here. Bring your knees back and towards your chest. Give yourself a hug. Squeezing in tight. And then bring your palms back together, taking your knees out wide, finding that sweet pose. Once more, either face your palms towards the sky or bring your one hand to your heart and one hand to your belly. Making this pose, this space sacred. Finding about 4 or 5 big breaths here. Allowing this verse to wash over you. Matthew 22:37 says, Jesus answered him, love the Lord God with every passion of your heart, all the energy of your being, and with every thought that is within you. Are you loving God with every passion in your heart, every energy in your being, every thought that is within you? Finding just a few more breaths here, in and out. Simply bring your knees back and towards your chest. Give yourself a little hug. And then bring your knees over to one side, extending the opposite arm out, finding your supine twist. Relaxing the whole body. Gently make your way over to the other side. And we come back to center. Bring your knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a tight squeeze, squeezing in tight. And then as you exhale, opening out into your Shavasana, we're going to be taking a silent Shavasana. So just allowing yourself to be here fully in these next few moments. Face your palms towards the sky. Lay your shoulder blades into the mat. Maybe even point your toes a little more outward and take one more big breath in through the nose. Side out. Shavasana. Begin to deepen your breath. Maybe wiggling your fingers and your toes. Maybe choosing to linger here for as long as you would like to. Reach your palms above you, finding your feel-good morning stretch. And then roll over to one side. Bring your knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a squeeze. Thanking God for this sacred space, the passion, the love, for all the blessings. Thank yourself for showing up. Consistently showing up in this space. Make your way to your seat. Bring your hands onto your heart. Your eyes still closed. Soften your face and your forehead. Finding one more big breath here. Sigh it out. Thank you, God, for this space. Thank you for loving us with all your passion. Help us to love you even more with all of our passion. Every inch of us, every thought. Help us to be more and more like you and match our hearts to yours. In Jesus' name we pray, amen. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me. It's bright right here, goodness my. So glad you were able to do day 5, or day 4 rather, or day 5, goodness my, day 5. I had so much fun doing this challenge. We will be back tomorrow for day 6, our final day, our very much resting day for 30-minute restore. So I'm looking forward to seeing you then, and I hope to see you in Marco Polo or the Facebook group.